What we're doing today is we're going to remove a plenum off a VK Commodore. It's my son Brian's car. What happened is the bonnet flew up at 80 kilometers an hour. It's wrecked the plenum, wrecked the hinges on the bonnet, also wrecked the bonnet a little bit, but we're going to repair the bonnet. Now the reason why this happened was on the bonnet you have a little what do you call it? It's a I'll show you on this bonnet here. One of these sorts of things, which what happens, this goes into the hole and then that hooks into the body of the car. Now what happened on Brian's bonnet was, I'm not going to mention names, but I do know who it was. He had tightened that latch very tight, which it didn't have the spring mechanism working, which meant when the bonnet did, when the bonnet did fly up, that latch didn't catch on the body because it was tight, and it just came straight through the body of the car, which allowed the bonnet to fly up. Not sure why the cable inside was triggered for that to even happen, but it did happen. The latch was tight, the bonnet flew up, it's wrecked the body a little bit. So today I'm going to take off this plenum area. We've got a new one, or second-hand new one, off a wreck. So we're going to unpick all these spot welds and put the new one on. I suggested we just did a cut on each end and use these new sections or second-hand sections and put it on that way, but Brian wants to replace the whole thing, so I guess it's his car, he can do what he likes. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to sand all these spot welds so I can see them, and then start releasing them from there. I'll show you the procedure I use, and hopefully it all works out well. So what I'm going to do first is give it a bit of a sand along here so I can see the spot welds easier, and then we'll take it from there. So I'll do that first. Now that I've sanded the panel, I can see the spot welds a lot better. There's 2 or 3 ways this can be removed. There is a spot welding drill bit that drills through the panel to be removed, and hopefully you don't damage the panel underneath. The second option is to use a little belt sander, which I have, and you just sand through the top layer with the panel that's going to be removed, trying not to damage the panel underneath that you need to weld this panel to when we put this panel back on here, if that makes sense. Or I've got this other little gadget that I brought in America at the SEMA car show, which is essentially a little hole saw. It cuts through the panel to be removed, and you don't damage the panel underneath. So I'll try and use that one. So these are the 3 things I was talking about that can remove the spot welds. There's the spot welding drill bit. There's the little belt sander I was talking about. And this is the thing I was telling you about that I brought in America. But firstly I have to dot punch the center of the spot weld. So I'll do that now, and then I'll get that hole cutter thing and show you. So I've got to try and get the center of each spot weld and just dot punch it. Best dot punch, center punch, center punch. This is the best. I got this in America as well. I love it. The secret is just to find the center. secret is to not damage the panel underneath the panel you're removing. There's a couple more back here, but I'll get to them later. Okay, that's a good start. So this is it here. It's essentially just a hole saw, but this center actually is spring loaded. So that springs in, and then you cut the panel to be removed. It's quite a cool piece of gear actually. Okay, that's cut through the panel to be removed without damaging the panel underneath. So I've just got to do that to all of the spot welds, and it should come off fairly easy. It is a bit hard to control. Just getting it started is the problem. And you don't want to go too deep with it. The last thing you want to do is cut into the panel underneath the panel to be removed. Seems to be working okay so far. You can tell when it's through the panel because it changes colour. Sometimes there might be a little bit of a rust colour you can see, and that's when you know you've gone deep enough. The panel's actually pretty thin, it's only like 1.5 mil thick, so it's not too hard to cut. It's just a matter of getting this started. But we'll give it. I'll give it a vacuum as we go just to keep the filings down. Okay, just looking at it now, I think I've removed most of the spot welds. There might be a couple I've missed. Down here, because this panel now is going to be scrap, I'm just going to cut across here with the cut-off wheel. This area is brazed to the car, it's not welded, so I'll just cut across there, remove that. Then I can have a better look at what's going on here. So I'll get the cut-off wheel and do that now. Looks like it's going to release from that side quite easy. Yo. If anyone's got any comments or ideas of did I do this correctly or not, feel free to tell me, because I'm a novice at all this. I'm actually a tattooist at the end of the day, not a panel beater. But that's off. Now if you look here, you can see I didn't cut through this panel at all with that cutting thing that I was using. So it's quite tidy. I'll leave this bit for later. I'll cut that off tonight. Yeah, now we get to see inside here. There's no rust. We can give that a good paint. So that's all removed, everything's looking good. We'll put some weld through primer on this piece. We'll probably bead blast it first, weld through primer, a nice coat of black paint underneath as well, and it should be happy days. Please comment if you do see anything. I'm not going to get wild if someone says, oh, you did it wrong, you should have done it this way or this or that. I just do it because I enjoy it.